We know very little about Cyberpunk 2077 at the moment, but little bits of news does trickle in every once in a while, and today happens to be one of those occasions. The following information comes from CD Projekt Red's Twitter page, where they posted some brand new job listings for the highly anticipated title. Clicking on the links will direct you to their official website, where you'll find job listings for Environment Artist, Senior Environment Artist, Level Designer, and Senior Level Designer. I'd like to draw your attention to the job descriptions for Environment and Senior Environment Artist. It doesn't matter which one you read, since the descriptions are basically the same, save for the job title and the years of experience required. The job description states the following: CD Projekt Red is looking for talented artists to join our Environment Art team in Warsaw to work on Cyberpunk 2077. A senior environment artist will create a wide range of photorealistic environments in futuristic settings, covering also physicalized objects and destruction models. Now, the key highlights here are the words physicalized objects and destruction models. What this seems to suggest is that Cyberpunk 2077 will feature an advanced physics engine that will allow objects to react and behave in realistic ways, and to allow for destructible environments. An explosion may result in various surrounding objects to realistically scatter, or when engaged in a firefight, the cover you're using may be susceptible to degradation and eventual destruction from your enemy's bullets. Now, CD Projekt Red has played around with physics before, particularly with Witcher 3. It wasn't perfect. For a while, Witcher 3 was infamous for its wonky ragdoll physics whenever Geralt decapitated someone, or whenever the game went into bullet time mode. And there's been a variety of problems that's been reported with the game's physics, but most if not all of the physics issues were eventually patched, and now it all looks pretty great and works in the game's favor. One of the more impressive aspects of Witcher 3 is the way the wind reacts with the environment. The sight of a windy day swaying grass and trees in the background really never gets old, and it's always a sight to behold. It's a small detail, but it goes a long way in making you feel like this is a living, breathing world, adding a flair of immersion that few games' environments achieve. The PC version of Witcher 3 also featured the Hairworks physics effect, which made things like hair and fur look more realistic and interact with things like wind and movement. So yeah, physics isn't new territory for the studio by any stretch of the imagination, but it should be interesting to see how they perfect physics for Cyberpunk 2077 with their brand new Red Engine 4. I also wonder to what extent physics will play a part in this game. Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't take place in the wilderness, it takes place in a city called Night City. There are no swaying trees this time around, but things like decapitation and amputation are actually an aspect of the Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop, which 2077 will heavily draw from, so I can easily see physics playing into that. I can imagine myself blowing off someone's limb off and it reacting in realistic ways. And of course, there's destructible environments to look forward to, which I'm assuming will tie heavily into the game's cover system. There's an entire gameplay mechanic for cover in the 2020 tabletop, so it's safe to bet that cover will be a big part of 2077 as well. Gameplay ramifications aside, destructible environments could also pave the way for some really great particle effects and visual flair during firefights. And like in Witcher 3, I imagine that physics will play a part in some of the finer details, like the way things like clothes and hair sway in this game and whatnot. Anyway, that's it for this news update. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below how you think CD Projekt Red will implement physicalized objects and destructible environments into the game. Also, if you're looking forward to more Cyberpunk 2077 content, I hope you'll consider supporting us on Patreon to help our community remain independent from third-party sponsorship and corporate interference. And to be further updated on all things Cyberpunk, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!